On a numbers game, the right data changes everything, and the data behind Shopify is hard to argue with. Millions of businesses worldwide run on it, including our own VSiN store. When we launched, Shopify's templates and AI tools got us live fast. Professional looking from day one. No tech background needed. Shopify checkout converts more customers and makes it easy for returning fans to come back and buy again in a single click. Shopify's built-in AI assistant Sidekick is there whenever you need help, building, troubleshooting, or just figuring out your next move. Check out what we built at vsin.com/store. Then go build something of your own. All you need is the idea. Shopify handles the rest. Start your free trial at shopify.com/vsin. That's shopify.com/vsin. Shopify.com/vsin.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Back on a numbers game, Dustin Swedelson filling in for Gil Alexander. Want to remind you about our friends over at Just Win Bets, baby. The name really does say it all. They have a proven track record with 20 leagues covering. They have one mission. Just Win Bets, baby, your premier source for daily sports betting picks. They break down the data so you can bet with confidence across the entire sports calendar. Scan the QR code or just visit justwinbetsbaby.com today and start betting smarter with Just Win Bets, baby. The name says it all. He's Kelley Bydlon. I'm Dustin Swedelson. We are hanging out here on a numbers game, and I just got some breaking news into the desk. Kelley, you got to run to the restroom. You were about 3/4 of the way there before I realized that was my one opportunity to go.
Yeah, I thought you were coming with me.
During this hour, I kind of spaced because I saw breaking news at this hour. It is Stormy Buonantony's birthday. Did you know that?
Wow, I did not know that.
So I put
I'm sure she is so glad you brought that up on air.
Saw it. Well, I asked the crew, should I encourage the audience to do this? And this is this may be a dangerous dance that I'm doing. Should I encourage the audience to, hey, Stormy, happy 40th birthday? Because obviously, is she even like 30 yet?
I was going to say, I have no idea. I'm not playing this game with you.
I'm pretty sure she's not 30. But like something like that, like throw out a ridiculous age that she's clearly not. Like one time, Adam Burke, who I think we're going to chat with later on in the show.
Next segment.
Adam and I did a podcast together, a baseball podcast, and he missed one. So I told the audience, I was like, hey, guys, Adam's self-conscious. He's out this week. He had calf implant surgery. Just tell him you hope the calves are healing up. I think I did it to you as well. Yeah. That's like my go-to. It's from Entourage. Johnny Drama went and wanted to get calf implants. He's walking around watching like bodybuilders. He's like, yo, bro, those real? Those real? I like doing that. But I think the age thing is probably a little bit tough.
Well, I'm just going to leave you out on an island on this one.
Yeah, I thought about doing it. I didn't do it. My favorite when you talk smack about Canada is we get tweets at Dustin Swedelson, at
Canada.
Kelley Bydlon, at VSiN Live. Scotty writes in, Leisure Suit Kobe. Where in the world is the Stanley Cup today? Montreal, Quebec. Every player gets to take it home during the offseason. And with half the players in every U.S.-based business, NHL team being Canadian, you know the rest. Yeah, your argument stinks. That is a desperate argument. If your argument has multiple sentences in it, it means you are grasping. An American team won the cup. We're better at hockey than you. We care more about hockey than you. That's the reality. Go find another sport. Once we start caring about curling, we're going to take that sucker from you as well.
Where's Ben Wilson at? He was he was curler in high school? He was on the curling team in high school.
Legitimately. On purpose.
On purpose. That's what you do at Wisconsin in high school.
You know, we reached a new low. Early in the show, I mentioned if you can't make the baseball team, you end up playing tennis or golf. If you can't make any of the winter sports and you play curling, maybe sports just aren't your thing.
Get them, Canada. Get them, Canada. Get them. You just fired up the Game Plus audience. You better watch out, man.
Look, I mean,
you know what I will say, though? That percentage dropped. I checked on that like a month ago. I feel like that the percentage of NHL players from Canada, I feel like that for our childhood, that was like 2/3 of the league. It was like in the 60s.
Well, there was also
it's like half now. Yeah.
There was also the Russian invasion for a long time. I think that's impacted it as well. I wouldn't know the numbers off the top of my head, but
yeah, it feels like more European players.
We live in Las Vegas. Mike Palm runs circa here. What does his son do? Plays hockey. So hockey, when we talk about the soccer and the men's national team growing and the game being bigger, if they're playing hockey in Vegas, they can play soccer everywhere else.
That is true.
That is probably the greatest point.
And it is huge here. I can attest to that, man. I left Florida when the Panthers were not a thing yet.
Yes.
And nobody cared down there. And it was quite eye-opening to move out here and be like, wow, these people really care about the hockey.
Shout out to Scott Niedermeyer. All right. But a guy who's rumored to be in the mix for owning an NBA team in Vegas is LeBron James. He will not be playing for that team by the time that happens. But where he ends up next year, that is the great question of the summer, Kelly. As looking at the prediction markets, this thing moves around a lot. A little bit of steam coming in the last day or so on Golden State. Have you seen this move here? Cleveland remains your favorite at 43% over at Kalshi. Polymarket has it 45%. And then in both of those places, Golden State's 22% at Poly, and at Kalshi is 23%. Miami is third at 22% and 21% respectively. When you think about the summer of LeBron, before you tell me the team, before what date do we get an answer? What do you anticipate being the time? Because I know LeBron at this point.
Yeah.
It's in our lives for about 23 years. We've been aware of him. We know the one thing he loves more than basketball. It's not his family. It's attention. And right now, this is the time you pounce for the American sports viewers' attention. Now, he could wait till the World Cup is over and there's really nothing and the dust has settled and it's only baseball. Mm-hmm. But we routinely talk about this week as the slowest sports time of the year. Is this the week we get the answer on LeBron James?
Great question. I'm going to go with no. And he continues to drag this out, continues to shop. I mean, it's when we talk about these teams, I mean, it's going around in a circle here, as you've kind of been hinting at, right? It does. Cleveland's been at the top now. Sports fan mode for you over at Kalshi, plus 123. Golden State plus 312. Miami plus 330. Philly plus 943. And then we get over to 22-1 with Minnesota. I think if you're making a bet today on this, it's that you're convinced that it's Cleveland and it's been Cleveland all along and it's the homecoming story. Otherwise, I don't think that there's enough signal for any of these other spots for you to feel confident enough to go make a bet, unless you know something that everybody else doesn't know. I think the one that's really fascinating about this specific situation with LeBron, with where he's at in his career, Dustin, is there's a lot of the questions of, and I think this is the right question. How much does he care about winning right now? And I think that's, how much does he care about winning? And does that mean he is willing to take a back seat, and more so possibly than what he did in LA as the third option, which he willingly did for a year and a half? I think the sneaky one that just people should not forget, I don't think it's likely, but it's a possibility, is that if he really cared the most about being on the best contender, what he should do is not join a team until about January. And sit out, see who's playing well, see who needs an option like him all of a sudden because of injury or whatever, right? And then join a team there. I think that is very unlike LeBron to do. I think he'd want to drag this out this summer and make a grand decision this summer. But if you really care about winning, to me, that's actually the smartest thing for him to do.
Well, he doesn't just care about winning. He cares about making a movie. They're making a documentary right now. And that is absolutely playing a role in the delay here. So but does my scenario, does that ruin the documentary or does that make it better? Because then you almost get like a mid-season decision. Well, what would be great is if he goes to watch the teams in person as just a spectator, and it becomes this whole event of LeBron's watching, he's thinking about joining, he's entertaining the idea. Look, I like where your head's at. For me, it is about championships for him. It's about legacy. He wants one more. He wants to go out a champion, but he also wants to tell a story. That's why a couple weeks ago, I threw it up on X at Dustin Swedelson. I bet Cleveland before the movement, 40-1.
Oh, nice.
I also took 15-1 to win the East. Here's the thing. I'm seeing Caesars has Cleveland down to 17-1. DraftKings still has 25-1 on Cleveland to win it all. That feels a little bit long because if they get LeBron with the depth they already have, because he's going to come in, he's going to take no money, they're going to be able to keep all the size. Keep Mobley, who we thought was going to be, or Allen, who we thought was going to be an expense. Mobley's going to get better playing alongside LeBron. All of a sudden now there's someone else who can help them with the late game situations with Harden and Mitchell and their struggles in the clutch. I love the fit for Cleveland. It makes all the sense in the world from a basketball standpoint, from a storyline standpoint, from him closing the chapter where he began it. And if he delivers a second championship to the city of Cleveland, it already takes one of the greatest careers of all time to another stratosphere, because that is an organization that has only ever won with the existence of LeBron James.
Yeah, man. It's who do you want to see him on? Is it Cleveland? I mean, for you now, you got to bet. Well, just from the basketball fan standpoint, who do you want to see him on?
Well, the story of Cleveland fascinates me. The idea of Golden State I would only want it this way.
It's fun.
No. Here's the only way I want it. I want him on Golden State if we go all in on old dudes. That means Clay gets bought out from Dallas, he goes back.
Love it.
Some other old dudes around the league get bought out, they have to go to Golden State ever, and you just do like the Uncle Drew type situation, taking on the young Bucks, trying to knock them down. That's the only way I'm appealed by Golden State. I don't want Miami. And I mean, as someone who spent a lot of time in South Florida, I hate the concept that just because Miami has beaches and beautiful women and like has lifestyle, that they automatically are in the mix for every single great player when they become available.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing in the world to me.
No state income tax, but this is Riley's been swinging for a big name for a long time. He finally got Giannis. He's been working on that for like 5 years. So I think that effect is not as much anymore, but we'll see. I tell you, I wish he'd go to Minnesota. He's never going to. I wish he would. Like, they actually need a power forward. They need someone to play that position, and he could, like, actually teach LaMelo and Ant how to be professional basketball players later into their career.
In the same regard, though, couldn't you make the same statement about going to San Antonio because he could teach Wemby and help them get over the hump? But he's had a rivalry with San Antonio in the past. Does that play out?
Yeah, no. I think it's a different story there. If they win a championship, this is where I stand on San Antonio. Maybe LeBron thinks about it differently. If they win a championship, I think everybody's just starting to think that as Wemby's first championship. That's not a LeBron title. This is Wemby's title that LeBron came along for the ride for.
The only other team that I think would be really cool would be Denver, because I think Denver needs him. I think Denver needs his two-way ability. They need his leadership. They need him to calm down that room, because I don't know where they're going to get better. Right? I don't know how the talent gets better for Denver other than making a move like this. And then my Knicks. My Knicks coming off the title.
The Knicks are one of the best fit. Because it's annoying.
But Rich Paul came out and said had they lost, he probably would be a Knick because he always wanted to play for the Knicks in Madison Square Garden.
But I was like, how does that make... So just because you can't be the guy who helps the Knicks win that title, then we don't care anymore? Because the fit is great.
Well, he wants credit. He gets no credit if he joins the champions and they win again.
Yeah.
But at the same point in time, what if he joined the Thunder? You're removed from winning.
No, you're not getting credit.
Yeah, he gets no credit. All right. Well, a guy who gets credit for doing all the hard work around here is Adam Burke. He's the VSiN.com managing editor. We'll get his thoughts on the Home Run Derby coming up next.
You're here because you want an edge. That's what separates listeners from winners. But let's be real, mindset alone doesn't get bets home. Pros win because they've got the tools, the data, and the discipline. And now so can you. VSiN Pro gives you access to the same real-time insights the sharps use. No secrets, no fluff, just actionable info that moves markets. Tap the link and see why serious bettors are turning knowledge into profit with VSiN Pro. On a numbers game, the right data changes everything, and the data behind Shopify is hard to argue with. Millions of businesses worldwide run on it, including our own VSiN store. When we launched, Shopify's templates and AI tools got us live fast. Professional looking from day one. No tech background needed. Shopify checkout converts more customers and makes it easy for returning fans to come back and buy again in a single click. Shopify's built-in AI assistant Sidekick is there whenever you need help, building, troubleshooting, or just figuring out your next move. Check out what we built at vsin.com/store. Then go build something of your own. All you need is the idea. Shopify handles the rest. Start your free trial at shopify.com/vsin. That's shopify.com/vsin. Shopify.com/vsin.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
With the great Kelley Bydlon, my name is Dustin Swedelson, filling in here for Gil Alexander all week long on A Numbers Game. Thanks for hanging out with us. Sirius XM Channel 158, YouTube TV, the VSiN Watch app, radio affiliates across the United States of God Bless America, and somewhere in Canada, according to Kelley Bydlon.
Yeah, Canada Game Plus. What's up?
Game Plus, what's up? All right. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Today, I should say. I'm used to doing night shows. Can you tell?
Yeah, well, welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Whoa, that alarm clock reminded me. I wasn't sure if it was morning or night when it went off. Oh, that's where I was at today. And I'm excited to talk to our next guest. He is the dude that does all the hard work here. He has to put together the stuff. Most importantly, when we have a betting guide, he has to interpret Paulie Howard's typing.
He has to track down everybody.
And make it the English language for people to be able to read at home. He is VSiN's managing editor, Adam Burke, at Skating Tripods. You can find him on X, and he joins us now on the Progressive Guest Line. Berkey, thanks for doing this, buddy. It's great to see you. Before we get into the baseball and the home run derby, I just want to look back on the VSiN NFL Betting Guide. It is out right now. It is absolutely fantastic. I loved it. And I keep hyping up Will Hill's write-up for Coach of the Year. Like, that's the one that I went, yeah, I'm going to be in on this. I've been on it in years past. Looking deeper down the board for a Coach of the Year candidate, you have to actually check out the guide to find out who I'm talking about. Was there a write-up that you read in preparation that you went, you know what? That wasn't on my radar, but now I'm kind of thinking about this angle?
Well, that's a really good question. Good to be with you guys here this morning. And yeah, with Paulie, his caps lock key is stuck.
It's been stuck for 10 years.
In all caps,
on every device.
which is just fantastic.
The first month I worked with him as his producer, I thought he was yelling at me every day. And then Mitch was like, no, he just types in caps lock. Nobody knows why. Also, fun fact about Paulie Howard, you'll go, hey, do you have this person's number? He won't open his phone. He'll go 702-838-1011. And you're like,
What?
What? I swear to God.
I've never seen that.
No, he does it all the time. Anyway, continue, Adam.
Yeah, all right. That's incredible about Paulie, though, because I was just having a conversation with Stormy this morning about how, like, I don't know any of my passwords, just like I don't know any phone numbers of the people that are in my life, just because everything gets stored now digitally. So good for Paulie for knowing those things. Yeah, I mean, there's a few different things in looking at the NFL betting guide. And again, as you said, it's out. It's available to VSiN Pro subscribers. College football betting guide will be Monday, August 3rd, by the way. There were a lot of great nuggets, in the guide. But I agree with you about Will Hill's Coach of the Year write-up. And, Coach of the Year is just such an interesting market to look at where, especially with the number of new coaches we have in the NFL this year, usually it goes to a first-year guy who orchestrates a really big turnaround, something like that. But there are guys that, we've seen a lot of teams do the worst to first thing over the last 20 plus years in the NFL. There are some second and third year guys that have a chance to really make a big push, or even some veteran guys. So I think it's one of the many great articles in this guide. Also, the other thing that really, really struck me is how people are just selling Patriots stock left and right. I mean, everybody's seemingly on the Bills to win the AFC East. And I get it. I understand why. Patriots played one of the worst schedules we've seen in a very long time last year. But I'm surprised to see just how overwhelming it is with people preferring Buffalo to New England in this year's guide.
And we're all on the Bengals, by the way. Again, we're all, I'm myself included. We're all ready to get our hearts broken. Here's my problem with it is I did it after believing last year for the first time. And the reason I did it this year was not just because of the way it shakes out for the Bengals, but more, I didn't want to be a year ahead of schedule. If I was right about where they were heading, if I was a year ahead I want a piece of it now, but now I'm ready to be 0 for 2 on the Bengals.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, you had some things come into play last year. There's people that have been betting the Bengals for 5 straight years, and they keep thinking that same thing. So I hear you. All right, Adam, we're hitting home runs in Philadelphia tonight. Who's going to hit the most home runs?
Well, I think a lot of guys are going to hit a lot of home runs tonight. The weather looks great. This is a ballpark where the ball is traveling about 3 feet further on average compared to other ballparks. So we should see quite a show, quite a display of power here tonight in Philadelphia. I'm not going to go that far down the board with this one. He's the second favorite. I like Junior Caminero here. This is a better ballpark for lefties, so we'll see if that comes into play because Caminero is one of the right-handed hitters in this field, but guy just has vicious power, incredible bat speed. We do have a change in the rules in the format this year. As opposed to the timed rounds, you get 20 swings in the first round, 15 swings in the second round or the semifinals, and also the final round. So we won't have guys getting tired out or anything like that, but I do think guys will get impatient. So I do think that the pitcher is still very, very important in this competition. Caminero is going to have Tomas Francisco pitching to him. He pitched to him last year when he hit 44 home runs, pitched to Randy Arozarena back in 2023. He finished second. So Francisco's been pretty good in this competition, grooving balls to the hitters. And Caminero and Francisco probably been talking about this since last year, knowing that Caminero, because of his absurd power, would be back in this contest again this year. So I think Caminero is your guy here tonight, obviously on a tear throughout the month of June, carried that over into July here. And also just the power is prodigious for him. Not many wasted swings, I don't think. I think he's going to hit a lot of home runs tonight and eventually be your champion.
Kind of broke the nerves last year, too, where he's going to be a little bit calmer for the event in year number 2. He's Adam Burke, VSiN.com managing editor at Skating Tripods. You can find him on X. I'm a big Caminero guy. Last time I was on a numbers game filling in for Kelley, I gave him out 40-1 for AL MVP, and that was literally right before he went on this tear. What do you want to do with some other plays, though, aside from the outright winner in the home run derby? I keep calling this thing an educated dart throw, Adam. I don't think there's like a super sharp way. I think you can make a case for everyone not named Wilson Contreras tonight, in my opinion. Not really sure how he ended up in the event. What do you want to do with Ben Rice? Second lowest shot on the board. I thought about him being my second along Murakami as my outright plays. You can get Ben Rice as high as 10-1. You want to back him in a couple different ways, though.
Yeah, Ben Rice, he's not a guy who hits the prolific tape measure home runs, but he's got a lot of line drive power. And sometimes that can be really valuable in this contest. You think about a guy like Garrett Anderson, who won it back in the 2000s. Bobby Abreu had a really good showing as a line drive type of power guy. Ben Rice kind of has that here. And his launch angle sweet spot percentage, according to StatCast, ranks in the 89th percentile. So he's a guy who hits a lot of balls at optimized launch angles. So it's not like he has to alter his swing plane, alter his path, or anything like that. He's hit 29 home runs so far this season, already surpassed last year's total. The one thing that concerns me a bit about him, his dad is pitching to him. That's always a big worry when it's not a guy who throws regular BP to you throughout the course of the season or in the off season, something like that. But because it's no longer a timed round and it's just about swings, I think that kind of, to some degree, mitigates that effect a little bit. Like I said, I think guys will get impatient. But Ben Rice is a guy that very selective, walks a lot, a guy who just kind of knows where his zones are and has that pull, that power to the pull side, with kind of some line drives that, I think can get out here tonight. So I like Ben Rice over 9.5 home runs in the first round. I like him in a head-to-head matchup against, Wilson Contreras. I like him in a head-to-head matchup against Jack Caglione as well. And I think to make the semifinals is a good bet for Ben Rice. I don't know if he could win this thing because I do think the nerves really show up, especially if you're a dad pitching to your kid, the deeper we get into this competition. But I think he's a guy that can hit a good amount of home runs tonight because he's got the proper swing plane and really pulls a lot of baseballs.
Yeah, Adam, I had great notes there on the swings and with the format change and everything. Anything else with the format changing? Any other bets that are jumping out to you, whether it's totals or anything like that you think that format change could affect?
Yeah, so I like distance of the longest home run over 484.5 feet. This one's at DraftKings, and guys aren't going to tire themselves out as much because in 3 minutes you're trying to swing it at as many pitches as possible, right? With a finite number of swings, you're going to be selective, but you're also not going to tire yourself out a ton. Like I mentioned earlier, ball's been carrying really well at Citizens Bank Park this season. The park factor over the last 3 years for left-handed hitters is very, very high. A lot of that has to do with Kyle Schwarber and the ridiculous amount of power that he has. But I think somebody's going to get to 485 or better here. We'll see. Baseball, people have been saying the ball's a little bit juiced. The drag's been reduced on the ball this season compared to previous seasons. Maybe that's something that helps a little bit here as well. But just so many guys with tremendous bat speed in this year's field that they're going to really make some violent contact. And I think we see a 485 plus home run, maybe 2, maybe 3. Tonight in the home run derby, exclusively on Netflix this year, no longer on ESPN.
Well, I wonder why Netflix was the choice to condense the timing. It feels like because it's a streaming service, they were the one that I would have went a little bit longer with. Yeah. It's where it feels like the regular TV broadcast would have wanted to be shorter. Either way, Adam, thanks for doing this, buddy. We look forward to the college football betting guide. What was the anticipation of that date? August what? I heard you say it last week.
Yeah, Monday, August 3rd for our college football betting guide. And then also we'll do our post-preseason NFL 2.0 betting guide Monday, August 31st. Okay. So a lot more best bets from the hosts. updates on, what kind of happened throughout the preseason and training camp and all of that. So 2 big guides coming up in August. Great time to become a VSiN Pro subscriber.
Just got to finalize my notes on Western Kentucky, and then I'll have that one over to you, Adam, okay?
It's not that far away, boys. It's really not.
Boys, I couldn't sleep last night, so there I am at 3 a.m. writing up Conference USA team previews. So I'm committed
There's
to the
Adam Burke
VSiN College Football Betting Guide.
He lives that life so you don't have to. Makes your life easier. At Skating Tripods on X. Check out all the work at VSiN.com. Appreciate the time, buddy.
Have a good one, boys.
All right, we'll go back and examine the home run derby when we return. Who are the guys throwing the pitches? We'll share that, plus some of the numbers that jumped out, coming up next on A Numbers Game.
A Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Dustin Swedelson filling in all week for Gil Alexander. It's A Numbers Game, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you missed any part of the program, Brett Boone, a little bit earlier, great analysis on the home run derby with his real life experience going to a couple of these things. Dallin Cuff in hour number 1, tremendous on the World Cup. You can always go back, download the show wherever you get your podcast. Story of the day, though, is the home run derby. We're treating it like it's a big-time affair. It is the event of the night. It will capture everyone's attention. It will capture social media. There's no World Cup. If you're actually locked into the Summer League, although the little I've seen of highlights of Darren Peterson, that might be the one reason you watch the Summer League. I mean, he was so good in the short, brief time we saw him there.
The studs have been studs so far.
They should.
They should, and people, if they want to rip apart efficiency, like it's Summer League, they just want.
Who else is supposed to shoot?
Exactly, they want these star players putting up as many shots as possible. They want to see where the holes in their game are and where they're going to work on them going forward. It's like Peterson, I've been higher on than most. I was that guy that kept saying Peterson should be number one. Peterson should be number one.
High five.
I don't know why we're high-fiving over that because he wasn't.
Five.
I bet it that way. I lost money.
We're gonna be right in the end.
I think so too.
People keep using the Kobe comp. I actually have a different comp, and you have to wrap your hand around it because it's not the same body style.
Oh, I love comps, by the way. I was thinking way too much this weekend about comps for him.
Dude, the comp's Kevin Durant. Because with 7 seconds on the shot clock, you can give him the ball. He will create a good look. He will, whether the shot goes in, I don't know. He will get a good shot off.
I think bad comp, though, because Durant has an advantage that he doesn't have in the length.
Yeah, but my point is, when you're in trouble as an offense, when these offenses become so stagnant and lose your flow, it's never going to happen with him there because he just needs a little bit of space to create something, and he will make something happen.
I think the ones I settled on this weekend are young James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, but he's not as athletic as James Harden, but he's way more advanced with the offensive game at this point. I think Donovan Mitchell is actually probably the good comp. Big-time shot taker, big-time shot maker. That's where he's going to be. I can't wait to see what the defense is like in real NBA settings. Because, look, he could get pushed around. The size could be an issue. Debanza has been ultra impressive to me, but I want to see how does that. It's cool in the Summer League. It's cool in college. It's cool in Summer League. And he's bigger looking out there than I thought he was going to be, Dustin. But how does that slasher ability translate to the ultimate high-level NBA? And it looks really impressive now. But when you start putting NBA-caliber defenses on that, because the outside game isn't as developed.
Now, as we're betting, though, on this thing, as the favorite for Rookie of the Year, here's why he may not be bettable. And it's mostly because the number's going to be super short. I don't see it available right now. Last I saw, I want to say it was like 265, somewhere in that range.
Who?
For Darren Peterson.
Yeah, Peterson and Boozer were like the co-short shots.
Here's why both Debanza and Peterson may not be bettable. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they don't win the award. It's such a short number. Ironically, 2 teams picking a top of the lottery have a lot of mouths to feed this year. It's very weird. One, you have Trae Young, who's ball dominant in Washington. If Anthony Davis winds up playing, but they had a bunch of young guys develop with the Wizards a year ago. I'm not sure where he fits in offensively. And then for Utah, they've been waiting for this moment. Markkanen still the number 1 dude. They still have Jaren Jackson Jr., who they traded for. Keontae George, we all, I think, kind of agree should have been the most improved player a season ago. And then Ace Bailey still. So there's so many different guys that are going to have the ball making plays. it may by default just be Boozer because of opportunity.
Or Caleb Wilson, who had a monster game in his
20
debut.
or 30. What do you? I wrote it
30
down.
something, I believe, and
Hey,
it
I
was
have it
a
here.
lot of 3-pointers. No, you are
35.
You are that. I'd rather high five over that take actually, because we might be big Darren Peterson fans, and he might be the best when this is all said and done. I don't think you could bet him preseason for Rookie of the Year because of exactly what you just laid out.
Wilson is a numbers play, opportunity play, situation
usage.
And if you're wrong, right? But it's the right call. I didn't know the 3-point game was going to be a factor here. That was my concern about liking him as a prospect. I didn't know if there was a 3-point game. If that's going to be a part of their whole repertoire for Caleb Wilson, he might be running away with this thing because the usage is going to be off the charts.
For both him and Boozer. That's what if I had to make a bet, it would be one of those two, and you'd feel comfortable just knowing that you're going to get the higher usage rates.
Well, you haven't made an official bet in the home run derby yet.
I haven't, but I'm going to. I've settled on it.
Let's do a little drafting here. Kelley versus Dustin. What's it? The loser does what?
All right. We got either the loser does what or a dollar amount. You want to throw $50 on it?
$50.
Okay, $50. Now there's other two ways we could do this. We're going to draft every player. Would you like to go with who's the ultimate winner or your team's combined home runs? Does that work?
I wish we thought about this a little bit longer because maybe there was a point structure to make it really difficult where it was like, if you got the outright, it made up for this many type thing. Well, but if you got the outright, that will have the most home runs. Maybe most total home runs in the contest.
I kind of like it. Does that work, Danny?
Now it's about advancing.
Yeah.
Total home runs in the contest.
Well, let's do it that way.
All right, Kelley, I will give you first pick.
Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, I know. I knew that was coming. It was pretty obvious. Second pick, I will take my guy Murakami, which means I get 2, right?
Yeah. We'll snake this.
Do we snake it or we go back and forth?
No, we'll snake this. Because we both like Schwarber. And
on principle, I'm just going to take it because I'm going to let the number get me there, Caminero, even though I'm not betting Caminero tonight.
Okay, I was hoping to steal that one from
he's down
you.
to Schwarber's plus 285 on DraftKings right now. Caminero's down to plus 350. We've seen some movement here this morning.
Okay, yeah. Wow, we have. I just saw what'd you just say you saw for Schwarber?
Plus 285?
I just saw a plus 250.
Whoa!
Yeah, I just saw a plus 250.
See, it's unbettable. Like even if he wins, I can't do it in an event like
I'm not going under 310. I'll tell you that. I'm finding that out there or I'm not betting it. Okay, so my next 2 picks, I'm going to go old Jack, give me the Jays, Jack and Jordan. Jordan Walker, Jack Caglione.
So that leaves me here with I can go Harper, I can go Ben Rice, I can go Contreras. I will go Ben Rice, and then my last pick will be Harper.
Yeah, you bashed Wilson Contreras all of 10 minutes ago. So yeah,
well, it's the one name when you look at it, you go, if anyone's not winning, I'm pretty sure it's him. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to be there. Nobody wants him there. He's going to try and fight someone potentially or get hit by a pitch.
He sounds a perfect guy for Team Bydlon then. I like it.
You know what? He's a good fit.
Wilson Contreras, I got him, Jordan Walker, Jack Caglione, Kyle Schwarber.
Yep. I end up with Murakami, Caminero, Ben Rice, and Bryce Harper. So I have one of the righties. You have 2 of the righties. Caglione feels like a huge X factor here. That is the guy that you could either see him hitting 1 home run or winning the whole thing. That's the general vibe that I'm getting from him at this point in time. Looking at some of the numbers here on Schwarber and the information. One, his dad, Jeff, is going to throw. My name is Jeff.
Great
you get
guy.
the reference? My name is Jeff.
Oh, wait. Oh, my God. Give me a minute. Yes, I do. But I can't come up with it right now.
You want me to give you the actor who says it? You'll figure out the movie after that.
No. Keep talking. Let's break down Schwarber.
My name's Jeff. All right, Caglione is his father Jeff's throwing. Number 1 in average exit velo among these guys. Number 1 in average distance for home runs. I think the youth factor matters. And I'm just going to go back to yesterday on Ready, Set, Bet. My partner there, Mike Somich, with a great point. This is all he cares about. This is all he has to play for this year. The Royals aren't making the playoffs. Disappointing year. I think he tries to put on a show. Whether that happens, TBD. He may be worth a look at 7-1. I bet him to have the furthest home run distance. That was at plus 450 on Caglione. Schwarber, the favorite, knows the lay of the land with the stadium. We touched on Citizens Bank earlier. Righties or lefties, way more beneficial as right field, down the line shorter, right center shorter, and then dead away center slightly off to right field is significantly shorter to just about, 15, 20 feet the other way in left center field. Murakami, number 1 in launch angle. 20 homers in 59 games because of injury. His 162 game pace is 54.9 for the season. Schwarber's on a 56.3 pace. If Murakami didn't get hurt, he would be right there with Schwarber in terms of the pacing that he's on this season. Jordan Walker is the one I feel like a lot of people aren't making the case for.
Yeah.
Lowest launch angle, but he's big and he's got an effortless swing. Harper has Dino Ebel throwing him the ball. That is the Dodgers' third base coach who threw to him in 18, also threw for Teoscar Hernandez when he won it in 2024. Harper knows the park. He's won before, has the crowd behind him, but lowest average distance, exit velo, and lower expected home run than everyone else in the field. And then we go to Contreras. Jose Flores is pitching to him. He's known him since 2012 when Flores was with the Cubs instructional league team. Now he's the Boston bench coach. I can't get there because he's not sexy. If he won the award, would I be shocked? No, but I don't want to back him. And then lastly, Ben Rice, his dad's pitching to him. He has the lowest exit velocity of the contestants, lowest average distance of the contestants. How much is he boosted with his home runs by Yankee Stadium? I went and looked this year. He actually would have 2 more home runs in Citizens Bank if he played his games there.
Okay.
That kind of surprised me. That's why to go along with Murakami outright, I think my next play would be on Ben Rice. I think it might be the other
Really?
move.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're not going to go Schwarber.
I have Schwarber. I kind of hedged it with Schwarber versus Murakami,
That's
12
right,
to 1 in
they're
the
the
final.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the way that I'm going to back Schwarber in this one. I haven't gotten there though with the second one.
Probably a good call.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still considering. By the way, there's no shortage of betting opportunities aside from the home run derby over at VSiN.com, and you can become a pro. Get our VSiN football special for just $175. That's VSiN Pro Access now through the Super Bowl. All the best bets from every show, betting splits, Opta AI player prop projections. They are invaluable in handicapping the sport every single day. To get all the information, you have to go to VSiN.com/subscribe. That's VSIN.com/subscribe.
On a numbers game, the right data changes everything, and the data behind Shopify is hard to argue with. Millions of businesses worldwide run on it, including our own VSiN store. When we launched, Shopify's templates and AI tools got us live fast, professional looking from day one. No tech background needed. Shopify checkout converts more customers and makes it easy for returning fans to come back and buy again in a single click. Shopify's built-in AI assistant Sidekick is there whenever you need help, building, troubleshooting, or just figuring out your next move. Check out what we built at vsin.com/store. Then go build something of your own. All you need is the idea. Shopify handles the rest. Start your free trial at shopify.com/vsin. That's shopify.com/vsin. Shopify.com/vsin.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
If you're betting at Circa Sportsbook for a limited time, you can fund your wagers and contest entries with crypto using BurraPay and pay no BurraPay transaction fees. It's fast, secure, and another way Circa continues to innovate for sports bettors. Visit BurraPay.com. That's BurraPay.com to learn more. Take advantage of fee-free crypto wagering before August 31st, exclusively at Circa Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino. BurraPay transaction fees waived as part of campaign. Standard cryptocurrency network and exchange fees may apply. He's Kelley Bydlon. I'm Dustin Swedelson. Thanks for hanging out with us today on a numbers game. It's been a lot of fun as we've got some best bets we're going to share across the board with all of the guests on the show, Kelley and myself. I went this morning of telling myself, you know what, I'm just going to have 2 plays on the home run derby to all of a sudden we've gotten out of control. But again, I caution people. It is an educated dart throw. Now, will I do a victory lap if I have a profitable day on the show tomorrow?
Just sweep everything?
Absolutely. Yeah. But also, it's an educated dart throw. There's only so many sharp ways to look at this where this is not real game, right? It's not real game action. And I thought Brett Boone, who you can go back and listen to the show wherever you get your podcast, had a great point. It's a rare time you're taking batting practice. There's no cage around you.
Yeah.
You're exposed in the open. There's people sitting on each baseline. You've got the person throwing BP who's now has pressure on them with everyone watching them with the TV lights on. It's a totally different experience. So Kelly and I had some fun drafting them. I have a bunch of plays on that. You want to do the guest plays before we get to our plays?
Sure, let's do that. We've got Dallin Cuff. We'll start there. World Cup action starting tomorrow. France, Spain, under 2.5 for him. And then on Wednesday, he's going over in England, Argentina, over 2.5 at plus 130, as well as England to advance at minus 135. Shop around for that number. I've seen as good as minus 125 and as bad as minus 160 on that. These World Cup prices, man, have been crazy. The Burkster, Adam Burke. Tonight, Junior Caminero home run derby winner plus 425. Ben Rice over 9.5 home runs in the first round. Jack Caglione under 9.5 in the first round. And he's got Ben Rice over Wilson Contreras in round 1 in a matchup. And then the longest home run hit I'm assuming tonight, over 484.5. Right? That's
yes,
gotta be the prop rate. And that is everybody. So what do you got tonight? What'd you finalize?
Okay, so we are on Munetaka Murakami. That is the guy that I'm betting to win this thing outright. I may add a second one. If I do, it's going to be deeper down the board. I've got one. He's the third shot right now, Murakami. When you look at the launch angle, you look at all this guy does is hit home runs for the most part, and the pace that he was on this season. I'm not worried about the injury like some people. I believe it was a hamstring injury. That doesn't feel like it affects this, right? And he came back. He's been back for a few games.
I mean, he wouldn't be partaking in this if there was any concern.
Yeah, he has the best launch angle, 32.2 of everyone involved. He also has one of the highest exit velocities. He's number 2 behind Jack Caglione. I settled on him. I also went over 9.5 first-round home runs for him at even money. I'm also going to take Kyle Schwarber over 10.5 first-round home runs at minus 105. I think Schwarber feels a bit inevitable here. I don't know if it's a lock or anything. I don't believe in that in these types of things. But if anyone was built to step up in the moment, opportunity, and an event is built better for anyone, it's Kyle Schwarber. Like, this is what he does. This is what he's supposed to do. He's at home. Lefties thrive in this ballpark at Citizen Bank. So with that, I also took him to have the most first-round home runs. That feels like the area in the home run derby where we have our drama, where someone just goes on a tear and sets the bar at a ridiculous level. I think Schwarber's the guy who does that. Now, I wanted a piece of Jack Caglione because I thought Mike Samich had a good point yesterday when I was hosting with him that the Royals are 20 games out of first place. This is all he's living for and playing for. He's going to care so much about this exhibition. Then you factor in, he has one of the better launch angles. He has the highest average distance of all the competitors. He has the best average exit velocity of his home runs. Because of that, I'll take Caglione longest home run at plus 450. And then to get a little bit of Schwarber, I want to taste of Schwarber. Schwarber Murakami as the finalists at 12-1 will be my final play here.
I'm so sick. I was sitting over here and I'm just thinking about like maximum pain for you. So that would be Murakami and Jack Caglione making the final.
Yeah. But if Caglione hits the longest, and I still have Murakami going over, I could have Schwarber going over. Right?
No, you could.
We don't know what this format's going to look. We don't have good data to compare because they changed all the rules. So like, is 9.5 a good number for these guys in the first round?
Right? No,
we don't know.
We don't know. That's where that's why I was pressing Adam more at the end because it felt like he was more definitive on this format and what it would do than anybody else we talked to, including us. Okay, I made 2. Schwarber to win, plus 335. Murakami to win, 6-1. I'm being boring. I'm taking 2. See if one of those gets home. And then England to advance. I'm on that one as well with Dallin Cuff, got minus 125. If you are shopping around out there, MGM is where I bet that at. That is, again, I saw minus 160 looking around at some places here during the show. So 125, I will take that. Make sure you shop these numbers. And then Summer League futures. You could probably get better or worse than. I bet these before it all started. Grizzlies 10-1 and Nets 11-1. I think the Nets are 1-1 and the Grizzlies are 1-0. So you could probably get just as good, if not better, numbers now.
Okay. Tell me this: the cross-sport parlay. Who's going to mess this up for me? I used Schwarber plus 290. I took France plus 145 to win the World Cup. I think we pretty much think
those are both winning.
Those are very, very likely. I keep doing these 2 of these 3 next in all of my cross-sport parlays. Notre Dame to win the college football national championship.
Not happening. Nope.
I am such a Notre Dame hater, and I'll be on the college football podcast with Tim Murray next week. I love Notre Dame.
Ooh.
It's so Notre Dame and Texas. If you just look at what's back, it's very hard not to love. CJ Carr is just a different dude at quarterback. I think he should be the number 1 pick over Arch Manning.
Ooh,
Although
okay,
I don't,
all right.
Is he? I think he's eligible. So Notre Dame is the third leg. Fourth leg, Rams to win the Super Bowl at 5-1.
Okay.
Everyone, we all picked them in the NFL betting guide.
I know, it's bad.
But look, no one tries to be more different than me. I couldn't make a case against them. That's the problem. They got better in every aspect. They got better.
I mean, you can't really make a case against them. You can make a case for other teams.
Sure,
right?
But Myles Garrett, before he was acquired, they got 2 stud corners, which fixed any issues they could have had defensively. And then with the Rams, my final leg, the Cavs at 17-1, it pays 670-1.
Yes. That should all work out great.
Well, the Cavs in the last leg, if there is a cash out option, we will be cashing out.
The best is how I think you're going to get off to a great start. You're going to get off to a great start.
Schwarber in France?
Yeah, immediately after this week, you're going to be like, for months talking about this ticket.
It's like the other ones that I have that all begin with Jalen Brunson, finals MVP at plus 250. It's like, I got off to a great start. We're trending in the right direction. One of them, I added another one of them with Brunson. The second leg hit, they're like, buddy boy, you got 3 more legs to go. We're not offering a cash out yet. We know what you're trying to do here. And then Junior Caminero. I did that too. Caminero with the U.S. to beat Bosnia. And then one of the biggest favorite in a couple UFC events ago, I took him from 40-1 up to about 69-1.
Nice, man. I didn't know you were this sick. Definitely later in the week, Danny, we got to do the open bets that are in Dustin and Kelley's accounts.
Oh, you know what?
Because that is a comedic segment that this is my slowest time of the year, but I've still got some duds in here.
Well, yeah, but the problem is we don't have enough time in a 10-minute segment to go through them. Like, I'm already looking at
I
one
didn't know you had this many ridiculous crosswords.
They're like, $5, $10, $15 depending on them. They pay out crazy numbers. A 3-legger that's dead, Jalen Brunson with Connor Griffin to win Rookie of the Year, who's injured, and Notre Dame to win the national title. Can I just delete it will the book just delete it for me?
It just gets embarrassing after a while.
I don't want to. They taunt you. You have these horrible futures, and every time you open up your tickets, you go, hold on, let me see what I have in pocket. Guys, do you have to remind me about a future that's been dead for 3 months?
Yeah. All right, let's review the teams from the draft.
All right. Oh, look at this on the fly.
Quick turnaround.
So we drafted our home run derby contestants. Most home runs wins this thing.
Most combined. That's right, yes.
Yeah. Most combined home runs for the team. Kelley took Schwarber number 1, which is dangerous. He took Caglione with his second pick. Walker after that. And then he was stuck with Wilson Contreras at the end, which is why I like where I'm at. That wasn't actually a strategy for me by choosing to go number 2. I just didn't want to have Schwarber and then not bet
Schwarber and I get Contreras. That's how it's going to work. That's how it's going to work with any draft out there.
My point is it wasn't premeditated. Yeah. I did not give it that much thought ahead of time. Murakami and Caminero. Ben Rice is my favorite of the longer shots on the board. And then Bryce Harper, who I don't know what to make of him in this event. Will he care a ton and want it because he's won it before and he's at home? Yes. Is he a little bit older and that concerns me and his swing requires a lot of energy? Yes, that also concerns me. But I got to tell you, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if any of these dudes won the contest other than Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, me neither. Wilson Contreras.
Wilson Contreras is going to come for me, man.
Yeah, he is. Watch out. Plenty of British Open coming up this week. Long shots. We will have episodes today and tomorrow. I'm going to answer my own question from earlier that I asked Wes. Which golfer, if he drifts far enough? Like last week, it will be Rory again for me this week. If he hits double digits, 10-1, I'll be in on Rory McIlroy.
All right, coming up next, prop points, Jeff Erickson, Nick Whalen. They have you covered 1 p.m. Eastern. Then it's Money Moves, JVT Solo. I'm joining him later on in that show. And then follow the money with Mitch and Paul at 4 p.m. Eastern. For Kelley, I'm Dustin. We'll see you next time on A Numbers Game.